I was 3 years old when the revolution happened. I was about 5 years old when the war between Iran and Iraq started. So it was 8 years of bombing every night.
Hello and welcome to Crazy Amazing God Stories, where ordinary people share extraordinary moments of God revealing His power, grace, and love in our everyday lives. Today we have a lot to unpack. We have a very interesting story, so get your ears on and get ready. We're going to have a lot of questions for her, but please welcome to the show, Miriam Kariman.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Nice to have you. Nice to have you. I have a lot of questions for you. I've been thinking a lot about what I'm going to ask you. But before we get started, tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Sure. My name is Miriam Kariman, and I am a single mom. I have two teenage daughters, and I'm also a small business owner. I have a protein shake shop.
Oh, nice.
It's called the Fresh Monkey. Yes, that occupies me 6 days a week.
Oh, I bet. I mean, small business is tough. Where is it?
Yes, on Power and Warner
Okay, very nice.
in Cannon Beach.
So what kind of stuff do you serve?
Truly healthy protein shakes. We don't add any sugar to any of our products, so everything
Very
is
nice.
very natural and very healthy.
Very nice. I'll have to check that out.
Yes, you have
Be
to.
excited about seeing that. And where do you go to church?
I go to Kingdom Church in Gilbert.
Excellent. Excellent
Love my church.
It's a very beautiful place, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. So I know there's a lot to your story, but I haven't really heard a lot of it. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. Tell me where you're from.
I was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts, but I was raised in Iran. My father,
In Iran.
yes,
Okay.
my father worked for the government at that time, and he was sent to Massachusetts to finish his education, and that's when I was born. And when I was 6 months old, my parents decided to go back. I mean, he was obligated to go back. So we went back, and then when I turned 20, I came back to U.S.
So you lived from 0 to 20 in Iran.
Yes,
What city?
in Tehran.
Oh, right in Tehran, in the big one.
So, yes.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what year were you born? When did this happen?
I was born in 1976.
Okay.
Yes, and then I came back in 1997. I actually turned 21 here.
So a lot of historical events went on
Yes,
during that time.
yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about your childhood in Iran?
Yes, so I was 3 years old when the revolution happened in Iran. So we used to have a Shah, a king, and the revolution happened and the Islamic Republic took over.
Do you remember that happening or?
I was 3 years old when that happened. I do remember bits and pieces. I have this really faint memory of being in a bank with my dad and hearing a lot happening outside, loud noises. That's pretty much all I can remember. And then I was about 5 years old when the war between Iran and Iraq started. And that was 8 years of war. And
That would be about 81, 82.
yes, I think it was 81. So it was 8 years of bombing every night. And it was a very scary situation, but I'm very lucky and blessed that nothing happened to any of my family members.
You probably remember that pretty well.
I do remember that, yes.
What was that like as a lifestyle?
So I was very young, and my father was a very good man, and he tried to make the best out of it. So at night times when the bombing would happen, they would set the alarm, and like the entire city could hear it, and we would get power outage because they didn't want them to be able to the planes to see where the houses are, where they're bombing.
So they would shut your power out.
Yes, completely.
And you knew that was going to happen every night.
Almost every night, yes.
Wow.
And we were always ready for it. Um, all the windows were duct taped in case it shatters so they don't fall on you. It was a whole process. But my father was very kind to us, and he would take us to a room with the least amount of windows, least amount of glass. And he would just sing to us and make us sing so we won't, give all of our attention to something scary. He would try to say jokes and, just funny stuff to keep us, happy and going. And,
When you say us, you had brothers and sisters?
Yes, my younger brother.
Younger brother, how old is he?
He's exactly 5 years younger than me. We were born in the same day.
On the same, you have the same birthday.
Yes.
That's really cool. So he was really little then.
Yes, he was.
Okay, so he probably didn't know what was happening for most of his life,
Yeah.
but I guess 8 years he grew into it.
Yes, he did. He was, I think, yes, for 6 years of it, I think.
Okay, and your family, you grew up Muslim?
I did. My family is not religious. Let's say it that way. None of my family members are religious. They all believe in God for most part, but they're not religious that would do the prayer 5 times a day and go to mosque or, follow any of the religious rules or anything. So they always believed in God, but never practiced anything at all.
So they weren't really intense. They were
No.
What about your friends? What kind of
Same. The whole environment that I lived in was pretty much the same. So after the Islamic Republic took over the country, there were about, and it's still the same, 90% of the population of Iran is against the government. They still are up to today. So including my entire family, they were not happy with what happened to us. They were not happy with the fact that the Islamic Republic sold themselves to the people of Iran as a government that will give you free housing, free utilities, and will give you a lot of money.
that's how they pitched it. That was their
That's
sales.
how they did it. They said every single one of you is going to get a free house. You never have to pay for a house payment. They said that you never have to pay your water bill, electricity bill. And if you know anything about Iran, it's the complete opposite right now. So that was a lie. Yeah, so that was that. And then
Your dad worked for the government, though, right? Before the Islamic.
Yes, we were
over.
very lucky that he was not killed by the new government. He was actually just let go.
Were a lot of his colleagues?
He had some colleagues that were hanged, yes.
Ooh. Was that something that he would speak about, or is that something that he just
He
kept from
talked
you guys?
about it once in a while, yes, but yeah, we were just very grateful that they just let him go, and that was it.
Did you know that he was in danger, or did you?
Well, as I grew up, I understood more. I didn't know anything as a kid. But when I became a teenager and I understood a little bit more about what actually had happened, then I understood more. Yeah, but he was a very good man and he did a lot for our country, but unfortunately he was let go. But we're happy that he was just let go.
Yeah, he probably would be more entangled in their web. So when you grew up as a teenager, did you feel like you were free to do whatever you wanted, or did you feel like you had something constantly?
No, so the government of Iran puts religion first before anything, before what you like to do, how you like to live your life. You have to follow their rules. There is no other option. For example, the month of Ramadan that Muslims are supposed to be fasting. In most countries, it's how you want to do it. If you want to fast, you fast. If you don't want to, you don't. But the government of Iran what forced you to fast. When I went to school, I wasn't allowed to have a snack. I wasn't allowed to eat. I remember one day I was going home from school and I had gum in my mouth. And this lady walked by me and she saw me chewing on my gum and she started yelling at me. Shame on you for doing that, for chewing gum outside on the street. You're not even thinking that maybe I'm fasting and you're walking by me. So that was it. That was the life. And a female has to completely cover, like your hair has to be covered. You can't wear a short sleeve. It has to come all the way to here. And you have to wear you have to wear a pair of pants. And then on top of that, you have to wear a long dress that will cover. So you from your entire body, all you can show is your face and your hands. And that's about it. Everything has to be covered. It doesn't matter what season of the year it is. You can imagine it will be really hot in summertime to do that. But we had to. Winter was okay. It wasn't that bad. But
so even as a teenager, you didn't get to wear what you wanted. You had to wear completely, and all the other girls were the same.
Everyone is the same. Yes. Each school has like a prayer room that we were forced to go in and pray when it was called for prayer.
And what did you do during that time? Did you just go in there and
have to go and do it? You have no other option.
Were kids likely to tell on you if you weren't praying or if you weren't?
It wasn't that kids would tell on me. There's always someone following all groups to make sure every single kid makes it to prayer room.
And once you're in the prayer room,
you have to pray. They would put a teacher or someone in the front, and then you have to follow exactly what they're doing.
Wow, that's pretty rigid.
Yeah, right, I actually like sang songs to myself or like told myself stories or did whatever I wanted because nobody's in my head.
And at home, they weren't really teaching religion to you necessarily. No. So at home, you were free to be yourself.
Yeah.
Your family was protective of that.
Yes.
I assume.
Yes. Yes. At home, never had to cover. We would have, large gatherings and parties and never had to cover. And we were fine.
So at home, you could wear whatever you wanted.
Yes.
Okay. And your friends that you knew would come over and it would be like that.
Yes.
It was only when you went to market.
When you leave the house.
You leave the house. Ooh. So fast forward. So you guys, did you all decide as a family to move back to the States?
No. So I am the luckiest one because I was born here. And when I turned 18, everyone told me you need to go apply for a U.S. passport. And I did. And I got it immediately.
In Iran, you go to Iran. You go to you go to the embassy or?
Yes, I think it's Switzerland's because U.S. and Iran don't have a relationship. So I think the Switzerland is the one that I went to apply because they did the U.S. work as well. And I immediately got my passport because my parents had kept a ton of pictures from when they were visiting here. And I had my birth certificate, my hospital records, everything they had kept. So I got my U.S. passport, and then when I turned 20, I moved here.
And you just moved here by yourself?
Yes.
You just got on a plane and said, bye, parents.
Yes.
And where's your brother now? What does he do?
My brother is in Iran.
He's still there?
Yes.
I have a good friend of mine who's his now ex-wife from Iran, and her dad is one of the sweetest men in the world. And he told us a lot about how the people were not into their government at all. And we learned a lot about Iran from him. His name was, we called him Mr. Izzadinlu. That was his name, his last name. But we were blown away that the citizens were not in lockstep with the government. Is that what it was like for you?
Yeah, always.
Did you travel around Iran very much? Did you stay pretty much in Tehran?
Yeah, I stayed in Tehran. I've traveled to a couple of different cities, but not not much. It wasn't fun.
Have you been to anywhere else in the Middle East, or is it just
In Middle East, I've been to Turkey. I've been to like visiting the whole,
yeah, just visiting
just
and
Turkey.
just Turkey?
I mean, I stopped in Dubai and Doha, but I haven't like gone out to visit. It's just a transit through trips.
Okay, so when you moved here when you were 20, what was that like coming here? You're 20 now, and obviously the way of that must have been what, 90,
1997.
97?
Yes, I moved here in January, and then in February I turned 21.
Where in the States did you move
I
to?
moved to California.
Ooh, California.
Yes, so I had a lot of friends and relatives in California.
How? How did you know people?
Well, because of the government situation, people of Iran will flee as far as they can.
Oh, I see.
So, for example, my family, my father's side of family, that contains of probably a couple of hundred people because there's a lot of them. We're all scattered around US, Canada, Europe, everywhere. So whoever that has the opportunity to leave the country, they will leave the country.
So when you got out, you knew you were going to connect with some people. Did you have people
Yes.
in mind that you would know? And is that what
Yes.
brought you to California
Yes.
instead of anywhere else?
Yes.
Okay.
I had some friends and family members there.
And did you stay with them, or?
Yes, for a little bit.
Very nice. So at 20 years old, what was your plan?
The plan was to have a plan. So I did a lot of work. I worked for a restaurant at nighttime. I
Did
worked.
you speak English well? I mean, you speak perfect English.
So when you go to high school in Iran, one of the subjects is English that you have to take in. So I knew a little bit, and then as soon as I arrived here, I started working for places that don't speak Farsi because I didn't find that helpful in any way at all. So I worked in a restaurant. I worked in a gas station. What else did I do? I worked in a supermarket. I did a lot of small jobs like that, and then finally I got my break and I worked for the Hyatt Hotel, and that was my favorite job.
What'd you do for them?
I started with phone operator, then I got bored, so I learned how to do the front desk, and I didn't really like it. But
they didn't like it, or you didn't like it?
I didn't like it. Then my manager said, do you want to try reservation? I said, yes. So I did reservation for a minute, and then I was like, I want better. So she said, do you want to do group reservations? I said, absolutely, I would love to. So I did group reservations, which means like if a large company is coming into town because they have meetings and, so there's like 200 people they're sending to this city, and they all need housing. They need to stay in a hotel. So they would send me a list of all the people that are going with one credit card, and I would just book them rooms and, assign rooms to each name and credit card and all of that. That was a lot of fun. I really liked that. But I did learn a lot about hotel work because I always like to challenge myself, so I would get bored really quickly. So I learned how to do the catering department, how to do the sales department, how to do security. Like I learned a lot of stuff, and I really enjoyed doing that. And hospitality is very rewarding. It's really good.
Did you feel the difference in living here versus living? I mean, was it something that you noticed right away, or is it something that just kind of wore off? Well, I'm in America now. I kind of know what it was like anyways. Like when you first came here, was that a drastic change?
No, I feel like I fit in really quickly. Maybe that's just my personality because there's a lot of people who use different words to describe how unhappy they are with their environment, but I've never felt that way. I've always liked what I did. Because of the fact that I love people, I love to be in contact with people. I like to see people. I like to have conversations. I like to know about them. I think that helped me a lot to adjust to a new country. And, besides the fact that, I didn't have to cover, everything else was really good and pretty much the same.
That must have been a big change, though, not having to cover.
It was. So I would get nightmares once in a while at nighttime because, you're used to covering yourself when you go out and then you just don't have to do it. And then sometimes I would walk out and then be like, oh my gosh, I forgot my cover. But then I realized that it's not necessary. Yeah.
So you were in California, then what happened?
So I worked for that hotel for 5 years, and then after that, I started doing some. I quit that because I got a new manager, and I felt like he wasn't appreciating what I had put in. But so I got married. I met my
Early 2000s?
no, actually, I met him in 2005.
Okay.
And we dated for a couple of years and we got married in 2007.
And all this time, because you don't have to do prayers at school or anything, were you still Muslim in your mind, or were you just
No,
agnostic? Or
I was a believer in God. That was it. I didn't have a name for it.
Okay.
It was just that I always, prayed and I said, thank you, God, for everything.
If someone had asked you what religion
I
are
would
you,
have said Muslim.
you would have said
Because
Muslim.
that's what I was born.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what you knew. And,
Mhm.
okay. And have you read the Quran at all? Or are you familiar with it?
No, I have no clue. We had to memorize a lot of stuff from it because it's included in the prayers. And I don't know, in school, we had to take Arabic lessons. Like that was, you have no other option. So we had.
So you speak Farsi, Arabic,
I
and
don't
English?
speak Arabic. No,
you don't?
No, I failed Arabic all the time. No, no, because when you're forced to learn something that you're not even interested in, like English, I always liked English because you know that you can use English wherever you go in this world.
It made sense to you.
Yes, but Arabic, it didn't make sense to me.
It's a very sharp language, huh? The words are very sharp and they've got edges.
I think it's a very beautiful language. I love listening to people speak it, but it's just not for me. I didn't want to learn it. And so we had to take Arabic lesson, and we also had to take Quran lessons. Yeah, I didn't like
So you know some of the Quran. You've read some of it. You're familiar with passages, I assume.
Very little.
You forgot them.
Very little.
You got away from them. Okay, so fast forward, you got married.
Yes, so we got married. When did you? Well, it was 2007. I'm trying to remember the month. I think, yes, it was in May. We got married in May of 2007. Yes. And then October of 2007, we moved here to Arizona. We were living in California in Irvine, and we had a 1-bedroom apartment for $1,600. Then we wanted to have children, so we decided to move to Arizona, and we bought a 5-bedroom house. For the mortgage was $1,500. So
You're like, I can't believe the prices over here.
yeah, so then we moved here.
Now, was he Muslim or was he?
No, so he's from India, so he's Hindu.
Okay.
Yes. So if you know anything about their religion, they do not marry Muslims. So that was a big deal with his family as well. So his family, actually, his parents had to come over to California before we got married to meet me and approve me for their son. So it was when I met his father for the first time, it felt like an interview. So just like how you and I are sitting, we sat at a table and he asked me a lot of questions.
He came at you.
He's very nice. But
He obviously approved.
yes,
right?
Yes, they approved. And even though, so his father speaks fluent English because he lived in England for a while, but his mom didn't speak anything other than Hindi. So she had a little bit of issue with that just because she couldn't communicate with me. But other than that, I think they
So
liked
she
who I
couldn't get any
was.
rapport going on because you guys couldn't directly
Yes.
communicate. So she had to speak through it. Yeah, I can see how that would be a little.
Yes, and I felt bad for her as well because, you know, you would want, I assume that as a mom, you want to be able to communicate with your son's wife and, you know, tell her stuff or, you know.
Share recipes or whatever they do. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
So I completely understood that part. Um, so yes, they approved of me, and then they
and
left.
that's 2007 you moved here? Or
2000. All of this happened in 2007. It was a busy year.
okay. And you moved here. And what kind of work did you do when you came here?
So when I moved here, what we did was we came here, and actually my ex applied for jobs, and he immediately got a job. He's an engineer. So we were good that he has a job. So we moved here, we bought our house, we moved into the house, and then I got a job as in a call center. I worked for Panasonic in a call center, and
That's hard work. I did it when I was young.
yes,
Difficult work.
Yes, you don't want to know things that I said on the phone that like I had no knowledge of electronics, and they put me there like here. Yeah, so I did that, and then I got pregnant with my first one in 2009.
Boy or girl?
Girl. I have two teenage girls. So I got pregnant with her, and I was about 7 months pregnant when we found out that I had gestational diabetes, and it was very difficult to control it. So my doctor said that you need to stay home and you need to relax and not work. So I quit my job and I stayed home, and everything.
So, gestational diabetes.
Yes.
Is that different than regular diabetes?
Yes. So gestational is when you get the diabetes when you're pregnant. And usually it goes away once you give birth.
Okay.
So then my daughter was born. Obviously, I stayed home with her because she was newborn. And then my daughter was just a little over a year old when we found out that I was pregnant again with the second one. They're 2 years apart.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I stayed home with them, and I'm very proud. I'm very happy that I got to raise my own children. They never went to, I mean, they did go to daycare just to give me a break, but it wasn't like, I would go drop them off early in the morning and pick them up at night.
Spend days away from them for months and months at a time.
So it was just a couple of hours here and there that they would go to daycare so I can get work done or do something, because they were so close age, 2 years apart, both of them. Like I had a toddler and a newborn.
It's a critical time for a baby to have their mother.
And the fact is that I had absolutely no friends and no relatives in Arizona. So it was just me taking care of the girls. Yeah, and then I didn't work until 2016 when we started our own business. And then I got involved in that, and the girls were older and didn't need my attention 24/7.
What kind of business?
Engineering company.
Okay, so he was just he just moved off onto his own?
Yes.
And what did you do for the company?
I did the bookkeeping, accounting, account receivable, payable, all of that kind of.
You did all the
boring,
fun work.
Boring stuff. Yes. And then, that's where pretty much so a little bit after getting married, I realized that he has some issues, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was going on. And then as the girls grew up and then we started the company, it started to show a lot more. He was being very aggressive toward me. I'm the type of person that I had promised myself that I would never fight and argue with my husband in front of my children because I didn't want them to be affected by that. I want him to have a normal life. But yeah, nobody knew what was happening behind closed doors. And he was getting very aggressive. And I mean, I understood that he's probably overworked, he's probably tired, and we all were. But, that doesn't give you permission to be aggressive toward just one person. That continued, and I found out some other stuff that I wish on no one. Then I
That's a lovely way to put that.
then I in 2022 is when I filed for divorce. I sat down my daughters and
So
I
you went a long time. You
Yes.
held on and fought for it for a long time.
Yes, because as I said, I didn't want my children to be divorced children. I wanted them to have a normal home, and I really wanted them to, feel the love of both parents being with them all the time. But it just got to a point that everyone.
Got to that point.
Yeah, and people were telling me that your children need you alive because I was under so much stress that it was just unbearable. And people told me that your children need you and they need you alive, not dead. So you need to stop.
Wow, that's a
And then after I filed for divorce, a person told me, your husband is a narcissist. Did you know that? I had heard the word narcissist before, but I had no clue what it meant. I had never dealt with a person that has that type of personality, but I had no idea. So I Googled it. I am not joking. Every single one of them. Like, he's complete 100% match. He is the most amazing person if you meet him.
everything just started making sense once you started
Yes.
reading about it and digging into it.
Oh, I lost my mind. I couldn't believe that I hadn't figured it out by myself. Somebody else had to tell me that.
Well, you were fighting for it though. You were fighting to succeed though, so you don't go looking for.
Right. Why is he like that? Yeah.
You don't try to undermine him. You were trying to make it work, so that makes
Yeah.
sense that you wouldn't necessarily go.
He is the most amazing person. If you meet him, you're going to say, oh my gosh, he is wonderful. But, narcissist has one victim that will go after and will use them and abuse them as much as they can until they just can't. So 2022, I applied for divorce. He started apologizing, begging me to stay, and we started seeing a few different therapists, and nothing seemed to work. It wasn't. He would say stuff in front of the therapist that they were questioning the sanity of him and me and all of that. So it just wasn't worth it. And my divorce was finalized in 2023.
Okay, that's not that long ago. Actually, that's pretty recent.
Yes.
So you got out of the engineering business.
Yes, he fired me.
Imagine that.
He was the president and I was the vice president. He owned 51%. I owned 49%. So he had the power to fire me and I was fired. Yes. And throughout this whole process, let's say this happened in 2023, let's say about 2018-ish is when I completely lost my faith in God and everything else.
I was going to ask you about that. So,
Yeah.
So at that point, you wouldn't even consider yourself Muslim. You were.
I didn't believe in
God doesn't
anything.
exist.
I couldn't understand why this is happening to me. I knew I haven't done anything wrong. I knew I was doing my best. I worked very hard. I took care of my children. He barely ever gave me a hand with the kids. I helped with the business. I was very active in our lives.
But you were alone.
But I felt very alone. And with all the other stuff that happens in the world, how innocent people die, how children die, how horrible things just happen all the time. I was just thinking that there's no God. There's no way. If there's a God, why is this happening all the time? So I completely lost faith. And I didn't know what I believe in, but I knew that I don't believe in God anymore. I was completely done with it.
So you went agnostic.
Mm-hmm.
Did you believe there was a God, or you just believed
Nope.
that?
There's nothing.
Okay, so you went full on atheist.
Mm-hmm. There is absolutely nothing.
Okay. And so then you decided, I want to be in the smoothie business.
So before that, after I divorced and I left the house, he said he wanted to keep everything and he wanted me to leave. So I said, fine. I packed my personal stuff and I left. After I did that, since I don't know, maybe 2000 something, I gathered more interest in politics.
Okay.
So I was very interested, and I, as soon as I left his house, I was able to practice the politics the way I wanted to, because we were completely opposite directions as far as politics.
That always puts a strain on a relationship, doesn't it?
Yes. And he couldn't see that. He couldn't see it that way. He couldn't see the fact that if I want to raise my children in a world that is complete truth, not fake, not, oh, you do whatever you want, be whoever you want. I know there has to be something that we have to follow. There has to be some rules in life.
Do you think part of your childhood taught you how much truth matters?
Not really.
Not really.
So when I was a kid, my father and his friends and everyone in the family, all they talked about was politics. It drove me nuts, and I hated politics at that time. But then, as I said, when I started gathering interest, then I understood why they keep talking about it. It's so much fun. And then when I left his house, I was able to completely practice politics the way I wanted to. And then I started learning more about spiritual stuff. I realized how a certain followers follow God and how the rest of them don't. And it made me realize that these are good people. I mean, I always say that even when I didn't believe in anything, if there are two people sitting here telling me two different stories, I would believe the one that actually believed in God versus the one that didn't believe in God. I mean, I think that should be the first rule of life. You believe in person that is follower of God.
So politics kind of brought God back into your view.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. And then I started practicing politics and looking at politics the way I wanted to. And then, I don't know, maybe about a year ago or so, I started listening to Charlie Kirk.
Okay.
And he changed my life just the way he did with millions of people.
Millions of people were affected by
Absolutely.
him. His faith was a beautiful, beautiful
Everything
thing.
about him was amazing. I don't like to say that, but he felt more like a closest thing to a prophet that could walk this earth, because the way he talked, the way he treated his family, the way when I listened to him talk about his wife, I started to think, this is what I'm missing in life. This is what I've always wanted. Charlie said, a man needs to be a man and make enough money that his wife never has to work. That is not what I'm asking for. That was never what I was asking for. I'm always willing to work. I'm one of the hardest working people I know. But just the way he explained things was exactly what I was looking for. Like, I wanted a man to see me for who I am. Not someone else's wife would be the most fantastic person he has ever met in his life.
So did your politics align with Charlie Kirk before you discovered him, or did you discover him and then him?
Yes. So it did align with him, but then listening to him
and his explanations of things
brought me back to God.
He did that for a lot of people.
Yes. And I was very afraid for a very long time to actually accept it. So I knew that he is preaching the truth, but I wasn't sure if it was for me, So
So it was your dirty little secret. You would watch his videos and read his stuff?
Yes.
And did you listen to his podcast?
Here and there. Yeah, not a whole lot, but social media, I always followed him everywhere. So whenever he posted something, I immediately saw it and watched it, and I loved it. The fact that he stood up for a lot of people.
He boldly said what he believed.
Yes, the fact that he separated truth from fake and pretend life. That changed my mind. And then the day he died, it was just like, that's it. There's a God. There is everything he said is the truth. And, I had a very hard time understanding that why would anyone do this to him, kill him? The day he died, the moment when my children, both of my daughters, called me, I was at work. I was working, and they both kept calling me, and I was with customers. So when I saw that keep calling me, I realized there must be something wrong. So I answered the phone, and my daughters started crying on the phone, and she said, "They killed Charlie, Mom." I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
And were you finding your way to God still, or were you already
And I was. I had started to. And then with his passing, it was no question. It was no question, because I realized if there is no evil in this world, there is no good like Charlie. How good he was. And to me, he was a very innocent person. Because I know he tried, and I think his first goal was to save our children. And it really upsets me what has happened to our children now. I have 2 teenage daughters. I'm having a very hard time communicating with them. So there is I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but they're both very involved in politics, but they are kind of brainwashed. The fact that they both knew who Charlie Kirk was and they had listened to him, that brings me peace. But I wish that they actually had believed in him,
believe what he said?
Yeah. And I wish they followed him.
So it was after Charlie passed that you found your way.
Yes. I have a very good friend that goes to Kingdom Church.
Okay.
Her name is Heidi. Okay. She is one of the most amazing people I've met. Since I started my shop, she has come to my shop at least 2-3 times a week. She is a huge supporter. So I would see her on Sundays all dressed up coming to my shop. And I would ask her, "Why are you so dressed up?" She said, "I just came from the church." So after Charlie passed, it was, I think, a week or 2 after, she came to the shop. And I said, "Heidi, can I please go to your church with you?"
Well, you asked her.
Yes.
That was your window.
Yes. And she said, yes, you can come on Sunday. And then she said, no, wait. On Sunday, we're actually going to Charlie's Memorial in Glendale. I said, I want to go. She said, let's go. So we went. She went with her family, and my younger daughter, she said that she wanted to experience it. So she went with me. I was very proud of her for doing that. She was actually my motivation because I woke up at 4 a.m. that day, on that Sunday, and I was hoping that she will say she changed her mind, but she said, no, Mom, let's go. So we got ready and we went. That was the most amazing experience in my life. It was so good. It was so good. Everything about it was so good. It was totally worth it. We left the house.
And you got inside?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We left the house at 5 o'clock and we got home at 7:30 at night.
You listened to everybody talk.
Yes. Yes. People started walking out when President Trump was talking, but we stayed for the whole thing. It was amazing. We loved it. Every minute of it was amazing.
What did you think of Erica's speech?
I loved it.
Life-changing, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think that the world shook
Mm-hmm.
when she gave her speech, I think.
Yes.
The whole place. That's fantastic.
Yes, it was amazing. So then after that, the next Sunday, I started going to church and I haven't stopped.
Okay, and have you developed a personal relationship with Jesus?
Absolutely, yes.
Tell me about that.
Just the fact. Okay, so there is something that I don't really want to talk about, but there's something that I'm going through in life right now, and I feel like my relationship with Jesus has helped me get through it. You know, I was very stressed out. I still am, but not as bad. I was very stressed out and it was showing. It was showing in my attitude. It was showing in the way I was driving. It was showing in everything that I was doing. I was very unhappy with myself for acting that way. And I was thinking that just my anger is taking over my entire life. And before I know it, something horrible is going to happen and I need to stop it. So once I started my relationship with God and Jesus, it has brought me so much peace that I can't even explain it.
That's what he does best, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. So I have a problem with other people's driving. But when I'm driving, I always hold my cross now. I always hold this and it calms me down. And I just keep asking Jesus to calm me down and help me get through this. And I think I'm a completely different person. I don't have that. Oh my gosh, I have so much to do still. I have so much growing to do. I am nowhere near where I want to be, but I have improved a lot. And I know I still have a long way to go, but I am going to do it. I'm going to keep going and I'm going to get better at everything. Living a life of no religion and then not believing in God lets you do whatever you want. You don't care who you're hurting with your words. You don't care who you're hurting with your words, even when they're not present. But I am trying very hard. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be a better mother to my children. And I'm just trying to bring a lot more love to this world than, hate and fake and all of that.
So what techniques, what do you do to get yourself closer to God? Do you read your Bible? Is it mainly rooted in church, or do you pray a lot?
I pray a lot. So sometimes in the middle of the night, when you wake up and you have to go to the bathroom or something, I wake up and sometimes I find my hands up. I'm praying.
You feel him. You feel him when you're unguarded and sound asleep.
Every moment. When I wake up first thing, when I go to bed, I do a night prayer. I have an app that I use for prayer every night. And my puppy that sleeps next to me, he loves that too. I swear he loves it. He enjoys listening to the prayer every
What's
night.
the app? You don't mind me asking? Pray?
Yes.
Okay. And is that the one where it reads passages of the Bible to you?
Yes.
I've
So
heard of that one.
because of my work, I try to read the Bible, but when you are running around doing things, it's not easy to hold a book in your hand. So I listen to a lot of stuff too. I try to. And, whenever I get a minute, I stop and pray. I have people in my mind that I pray for them all the time, like every single day. Not relatives, not my children, but people that are here for us. I pray for them all the time. And it's really interesting. There is a man in our church that I had seen him, but I had never had a conversation with him. And a couple of weeks ago, if you remember, maybe about 3 weeks ago, our pastor said that he's very sick. Do you remember that? And everyone started praying for him, and a huge group went, put their hands on him. And so I started praying for him every night. And guess what happened? The week after, I met him for the first time, and he gave me a huge hug, and I was so excited. And I still pray for him. I want him to, get better. But he wasn't feeling good. And I feel like a lot of things are happening to me. It is so amazing. I have random people stop by my shop and pray for me. I had a man walked into my shop and he said, God sent me here to pray for you.
Just out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
This is after you found Jesus. Isn't that amazing? How he just shows up.
So strange.
You think he would have come before you found Jesus?
No. I wouldn't even entertain him, I wouldn't even find him. No. I, in the morning when I go to, when I open the shop, I play worship music a little bit. And I love how people have received it so far. People love it. They really enjoy it. And I always get God bless you or, things like that. I always get it from my customers now, which I didn't before.
Didn't notice it at all before.
No.
It's funny where God meets you where you're at, huh?
So strange.
He just shows up.
Amazing.
So how long has it been since you truly felt like you knew Jesus? How long was it?
So I think since the first day I started going to church.
So middle of September?
Yes. Yes.
And you recently were baptized.
Yes.
How was that?
That was amazing. That was a great experience. Yes. I'm very proud. So the unfortunate thing is that no one knows in my family. Not because I'm afraid of anything. I just know that most people will mock me in my family. So I haven't told anyone at all.
Do you communicate with your family
Yes.
often?
Yes, all the time.
Are they still back in Iran or?
Mostly, yes. I have a lot of cousins scattered here and there.
And you don't tell them either?
No.
Even though they're not really that Muslim,
No.
they still don't see that as.
And you know that it is wrong in Islam.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if you hear that, they kill Christians all the time.
Yeah.
So that would be something that I can never put in a paper because I still do go visit. It's just like.
Well,
I have to hide my
newsflash, some people are going to know now.
That's okay, as long as they're Christians and they're believers. I don't mind that at all.
Well, we reach all kinds of different people. There's all kinds of people
it helps.
that listens.
I hope that it helps that people need to know that they shouldn't be scared. They shouldn't be afraid. To be honest, one of the reasons I decided to get baptized and become Christian is listening to Muslims who have become Christians now. They have helped me understand that it is okay to do this. And just the fact that we share a lot of stuff, like things that only a previous Muslim would know, how we feel about what we were and who we are now. That is a beautiful story. I listen to a lot of people. I know a lot of, but I follow a lot of Muslims who have become Christians on social media.
Do you want to share something like that? Maybe I wouldn't necessarily get it, but you want to share something that you think would be unique to someone who might be listening, that maybe they're Muslim and they're thinking about it, or do you want? Is there anything like that that you could?
I would like to say, just do it. Just get up. I feel like we have a task right now. I think that Christians need to stand up. We need to get up. We need to stand up. We live in the most beautiful, amazing country in the world. United States of America is a country that everyone has envied for ages. Everyone wants to be here. This is the best place, and we cannot allow it to be ruined.
What a beautiful thing to say. What a great patriot you are. I love it.
Yes, I love my country.
That's fantastic. So do you have any advice for someone who currently is Muslim and is seeking something different or more, and they're not sure where to land? Do you have anything that you would say to someone that...
If anyone wants to contact me, I would love to sit down and talk. But we need to understand that this is our country. We need to save our country. We need to stand up. And this country was founded on Christianity and a lot of good people. And unfortunately is completely divided now. And I think that God and Jesus is what we need to bring us back together. I feel really bad when I see people who are actually born Christian, but they do unchristian stuff all the time. And yeah, we need to save our country. We need to save our children. So we need to stand up. We need to get up. And the only way to do it is just to have the common love for God and Jesus. And that's the only way we can get together, be together, and survive this.
More Jesus.
More Jesus. We need to. We have
Turn up the
to.
Jesus.
Turn it all the way
I love
up.
that.
Bring your boombox. Yes, all the way up. We have to. We are in a very bad situation right now. We need to fix our country. All the promises that the Islamic Republic gave to people of Iran before taking over are being the same words are being said, but by Muslim leaders here in the U.S.
You're seeing the pattern again.
It is the same thing. It's very unfortunate that there are some people that actually believe it. And no matter how much we say, don't believe it, it's a lie, they still believe it. They fall for it. Unfortunately, it has become completely wrong not to accept everything. You have to be politically correct all the time. But I don't want to be. I'm not going to. I am going to tell it as I see it, as I know it. I mean, I'm almost 50 years old and I have been through a lot. I have traveled a lot of countries. I have had a difficult childhood. I have had a difficult adulthood. And I don't regret any of it because it has made me a very strong person.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can do anything. And especially now, having Jesus by my side,
You're unstoppable.
I don't fear,
You
because
seem like you're thriving.
yeah, I don't fear anything. And I feel like I can do, as I said, I'm going through a very difficult time right now. But I am going through it with Jesus by my side, and that has helped so much.